Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by telling you something powerful. Success does not start with money. It does not start with opportunity. It does not start with connections. Success starts with you. If you're waiting for the world to hand you success, you'll be waiting a long time. The truth is, success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And when you decide to grow into your best self, you open the door to possibilities that others only dream about. You don't get what you want. You get who you are. That's the starting point, the foundation of everything. If you've been chasing success, if you've been chasing results, if you've been chasing outcomes and you're not seeing them, it's not because the opportunities aren't out there. It's because you haven't yet become the version of yourself who can handle them. Success is not something you stumble upon. It's something you grow into, and growth begins with identity. Think about it. Every single action you take flows directly out of how you see yourself. A person who sees themselves as broke will always make broke decisions. They'll spend money the same way. They'll treat opportunities the same way. They'll shrink back when risk shows up because deep down inside they believe, I'm broke and I'll always be broke. So every move confirms that identity. But a person who sees themselves as wealthy, even before they have the wealth, begins to make decisions differently. They invest instead of waste. They prepare instead of panic. They create instead of complain. It's not the circumstances outside you that dictate your destiny. It's the identity inside you. When you say, I'm just not the kind of person who can do that, what you've done is written a contract with mediocrity and you've signed it with your own words. But when you decide to rewrite that contract and declare, I am the kind of person who can grow, who can learn, who can build, who can achieve, suddenly your actions start aligning with that new contract. Your actions will never consistently rise above the picture you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will sabotage opportunities that come your way. You'll push away relationships. You'll reject promotions. You'll hesitate when boldness is required, not because you weren't capable, but because your inner picture didn't match the opportunity. But if you raise that inner picture, if you see yourself as capable, as worthy, as valuable, as chosen for greatness, you will naturally begin to rise into the opportunities that fit that new vision. Every single breakthrough you've been waiting for is already possible, but it will only unlock when you shift who you are on the inside. That's why people who win the lottery lose it all within a few years. The money changed, but the identity didn't. The circumstance elevated, but the person didn't. And because the inside didn't match the outside eventually shrank back down to the inside. On the other hand, there are people who start with nothing, but they see themselves as more. They say, I might not have the resources now, but I am resourceful. I might not have the money now, but I am wealthy in my mind. I might not have the business now, but I am an entrepreneur in my spirit. And because they carry that identity, they attract the opportunities. They recognize the doors when they open and they step boldly through them. Identity is the thermostat of your life. If you set a thermostat at 70 degrees and the room drops to 60, the heat will kick on to bring it back up. If the room goes to 80, the air conditioner will kick in to bring it back down. Your identity works the same way. If your inner thermostat is set at average, you'll find a way to sabotage excellence. If it's set at broke, you'll find a way to waste money. If it's set at failure, you'll find a way to lose, even when you were about to win. But if you raise that thermostat to wealth, to greatness, to excellence, to leadership, then even when circumstances dip, your inner thermostat will kick in and bring you back up. So the first step to becoming your best self is not learning another skill, not hustling harder, not casing more opportunities. The first step is changing how you see yourself. Until you believe you're worth it, you'll never pursue it with consistency. Until you believe you're capable, you'll never act with confidence. Until you believe you're chosen, you'll never walk in authority. Your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world. And if you want a bigger outer world, you have to build a bigger inner world first. That's why people who want success but keep saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, keep staying stuck. They think it's about strategy, but it's about identity. Strategies work when you believe you're the kind of person who can execute them. Opportunities open when you believe you're the kind of person who can walk through them. When you shift your identity, your actions shift automatically. You don't have to force it. If you see yourself as healthy, you will naturally make healthier decisions. If you see yourself as disciplined, you'll act with discipline. If you see yourself as wealthy, you'll treat money with respect. Identity creates action, and action creates results. The real secret is this: if you want to change your life, don't start with the doing, start with the being. Decide who you are going to be and let that new identity dictate what you do. Because once you see yourself differently, you will live differently. And when you live differently, you will get different results. Desire is not enough. Everybody wants more, but very few are willing to build the bridge that takes them there. That bridge is called discipline. It's the connector between where you are right now and where you say you want to be. Most people confuse wishing with working, but wishing has never built a business, never restored a relationship, never transformed a body, and never created wealth. Desire is the spark, but discipline is the engine that keeps you moving when the spark fades. You can't depend on feelings if you want to reach the next level. Feelings are inconsistent, but discipline builds consistency. Some mornings you won't feel like getting up early. Some days you won't feel like making that call, studying that lesson, or finishing that project. If you depend on how you feel, you will quit as soon as resistance shows up. But when you live by discipline, you do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Look at anyone who has achieved mastery in any area, and you will see the evidence of discipline. The athlete who wins the medal is not the one who only dreamed of victory. It's the one who trained when no one was watching, the one who practiced the same movement thousands of times, the one who said no to distractions so they could say yes to destiny. The entrepreneur who builds wealth isn't the one with the most brilliant idea, but the one who showed up daily, refined the process, marketed the product, served the customers, and kept improving even when nobody was clapping. The person with a strong family isn't the one who wished for it, but the one who committed to love, to patience, to communication over and over again. Discipline makes the difference between people who talk about success and people who taste it. Everybody talks about what they want. I want to be financially free. I want to be in better shape. I want to write a book. I want to start a business. But discipline separates the dreamers from the doers, because discipline says, I will do today what others won't, so tomorrow I can live the way others can't. Think about this. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to follow through on a commitment, you cast a vote for discipline, for excellence, for growth. When you break a promise to yourself, you cast a vote for procrastination, for mediocrity, for staying the same. And over time, the votes add up, and you end up living in the identity you've built. Discipline is not a single act, it's a lifestyle. It's the accumulation of daily choices that carve your future. There's another truth: discipline always comes with a cost, but the cost of discipline is far smaller than the cost of regret. Waking up early costs something. Saving money instead of spending it costs something. Working on your craft instead of watching endless entertainment costs something. But those costs are temporary and they pay dividends later. Regret, on the other hand, is permanent. It's the pain of knowing you could have been more, you could have had more, but you chose comfort instead of discipline. Discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. When you discipline your spending, you gain financial freedom. When you discipline your body, you gain physical freedom. When you discipline your time, you gain the freedom to create. People think discipline is prison, but lack of discipline is the real prison. Lack of discipline traps people in debt, in poor health, in wasted time, and cycles they can't break. Discipline unlocks doors that laziness will always keep locked. The truth is, discipline is not something you are born with. It's something you build. Nobody wakes up naturally disciplined. Everyone starts with resistance, with excuses, with distractions. But those who become disciplined are those who practice small commitments until they grow into bigger ones. You start with simple daily wins. Wake up when you said you would. Read for 15 minutes, exercise for 20 minutes, save a portion of what you earned. Those small acts of discipline build momentum, and momentum builds mastery. When you look at someone successful and you think they must be special, remember that what made them special was their willingness to be consistent. They didn't skip the hard parts. They didn't wait until they felt like it. They didn't excuse themselves with the stories most people tell. They built discipline brick by brick, and that discipline became the structure that held up their success. Desire will get you started, but discipline will keep you going. And until you master discipline, success will always feel just out of reach, because you'll keep restarting instead of finishing. You'll keep planning instead of producing. You'll keep dreaming instead of doing. Discipline is the difference between almost and accomplished, between potential and performance, between excuses and excellence. Words are powerful. Most people underestimate the force they carry, and yet words are seeds. Every time you speak, you are planting a seed in your mind, in the minds of others, and in your life circumstances. The problem is that most people plant weeds without even realizing it. They say, I can't. I'm stuck. This is too hard. And before long, those words grow into realities. The thing about words is they always find fertile soil. If your mind is ready to believe them, they will manifest. If you keep speaking limitation, you will continue to live in limitation. Your mouth is a weapon or a blessing, depending on how you use it. Some people wonder why they stay broke, why their health never improves, why opportunities never come. The answer is often in what they say about themselves and their future. Words carry authority over your life because the subconscious mind doesn't argue, it obeys. When you speak defeat, the mind organizes your actions and environment to match those words. But when you speak life, when you declare possibility, your mind begins to align with that new reality. Imagine this every day you wake up and talk to yourself. I can't handle this, or I'll never get ahead. Those statements are instructions to your brain. Your brain takes them seriously and starts shaping your decisions around those beliefs. It doesn't matter how talented or capable you are if your words are anchoring you in limitation. Your outer results will always reflect your inner dialogue. On the other hand, when you start saying, I am capable, I am growing, I am becoming my best self, you are giving your brain a new set of instructions. Your thoughts, actions, and opportunities begin to shift to match what you declare. This principle is so simple, yet most people ignore it. They focus on strategy, hustle, or tactics, but they never focus on the language they use to talk to themselves and others. Words are not just sounds. They are contracts with the universe. When you say something out loud with belief, you are signing a contract with reality. The universe responds to declarations backed by conviction. When you say, I am a winner, you are programming yourself to take actions that winners take. When you say, I can't, you are creating obstacles that may not even exist yet. It's not just what you say to yourself, it's what you say to others. The people you surround yourself with are constantly influenced by your words. Just as you are influenced by theirs, words can lift, inspire, and motivate, or they can tear down, discourage, and destroy. If you want to rise, you must be intentional with your speech. Speak encouragement, speak belief, speak growth, speak vision into the lives of people around you, and watch how the energy you create begins to return to you. Words are contagious, and the atmosphere you generate with your words will dictate the level of people and opportunities you attract. One of the most overlooked truths about speaking life is consistency. You can't declare one day and doubt the next. You can't speak possibility in the morning and complain in the afternoon. Consistency of words creates consistency of results. If you want to see a transformation in your life, start by consistently speaking about who you are becoming, not who you were yesterday or what problems you face. Speak in the present tense as if you are already the person you want to be. This is not fantasy, it's planting the seeds for reality. The power of words goes beyond self-talk. It affects your mindset, your confidence, and even your resilience. When challenges appear, your words determine your response. Someone who says, I will figure this out, faces obstacles with creativity and courage. Someone who says, I can't handle this, crumbles under pressure. The words you use in the heat of the moment either elevate you or limit you. That's why champions are careful about their language. They guard their mouths and speak only what aligns with their vision and purpose. Another critical aspect is accountability to your words. When you declare something publicly or to someone you respect, you are creating external reinforcement. Speaking life out loud forces you to follow through internally. If you say, I will accomplish this goal, it sets your mind to mobilize resources, focus attention, and take steps you might otherwise delay. Words are the bridge between vision and execution. They carry intention and trigger action. Finally, understand that words are long-term investments. Every declaration you make plants a seed that will grow over time. Negative words may bear bitter fruit years later. Positive words may blossom into opportunities you cannot yet imagine. The key is to be intentional, deliberate, and faithful with your speech, knowing that what you say today will shape who you are tomorrow, the relationships you build, and the success you attract. Success is not determined by how much you earn or what you own. True success begins with the decisions you make in your mind and the way you invest in yourself. The most valuable asset you have is your mind. Every opportunity, every breakthrough, every step forward is preceded by a thought. If you are not willing to invest in your mind to feed it with knowledge, wisdom, and perspective, you will remain stuck in cycles that produce the same results over and over again. Learning is the currency of progress, and your willingness to grow intellectually determines how far you will go in life. Too many people think they can shortcut growth by chasing results without expanding themselves. They want wealth, but they refuse to study wealth building principles. They want influence, but they don't read, they don't listen, they don't learn from those who have already walked the path. Growth always precedes results because the world responds to the person you are becoming, not the person you are now. If you want different results, you must become different. And becoming different starts with what you feed your mind. The mind is like fertile soil. If you plant seeds of knowledge, discipline, and wisdom, you will reap abundance. If you plant seeds of doubt, ignorance, and fear, you will reap limitation. Many people are unknowingly starving their minds while expecting extraordinary outcomes. They watch entertainment for hours but refuse to read a book. They follow trends but never follow principles. They complain about circumstances but never invest in self-education. The results they get are not accidental. They are a reflection of the level of investment they make in themselves. Investing in your mind is not just about accumulating information. It's about transformation. Knowledge alone does not create wealth, confidence, or success. Understanding, applying, and mastering that knowledge does. You have to turn what you learn into action. Every book you read, every course you take, every conversation you have with a mentor should move you closer to the person you intend to become. Learning without action is like having seeds in your hand and never planting them and have potential, but nothing grows. Another key aspect of investing in your mind is protecting it from negativity. Just as you feed it with wisdom, You must guard it against toxic thoughts, limiting beliefs, and destructive influences. The wrong words, the wrong media, and the wrong company can poison your mindset faster than the right information can heal it. Surround yourself with ideas, people, and environments that stretch your thinking, expand your perspective, and encourage you to grow. Your mind is the lens through which you see the world, and if the lens is distorted, your results will be too. Consistency is essential in mental investment. One-time learning produces momentary insight, but consistent learning compounds over time. Just like money grows with compound interest, your knowledge and wisdom multiply when you consistently feed your mind with growth-oriented materials. Reading a few pages daily, listening to lessons, reflecting on new ideas, and practicing application. These small, repeated steps build a powerful mind capable of creating extraordinary results. Mentorship is another critical way to invest in your mind. Learning from someone who has already achieved what you want to achieve saves you years of trial and error. Mentors provide perspective, guidance, and accountability that accelerate your growth. No matter how intelligent you are, wisdom comes faster and more reliably when you stand on the shoulders of those who have walked the path before you. The faster you adopt proven strategies and principles, the faster you close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Investing in your mind also means embracing challenges as opportunities to grow. Difficult situations, failures, and obstacles are not punishments. They are lessons in disguise. Every problem you face is an invitation to expand your thinking, to develop resilience, and to sharpen your problem-solving abilities. A person who refuses to grow mentally will shrink under pressure, while a person committed to mental growth will rise to meet the challenge and come out stronger. Your mind is the foundation of everything. Your health, your relationships, your wealth, your influence, they all originate in the quality of your thinking. If you are willing to commit time, energy, and resources to feed your mind, you will naturally make better decisions, attract better opportunities, and navigate life with clarity. The most successful people are not just skilled, they are learners, thinkers, and observers who continually refine their mind, expand their understanding, and apply what they learn in real-world situations. The secret is not finding shortcuts or waiting for luck. The secret is investing in yourself relentlessly, developing a mind that can handle greater responsibility, seeing opportunities that others miss, and applying knowledge with precision. The mind is the engine, the decision maker, and the differentiator between those who remain average and those who rise to extraordinary heights. The people you surround yourself with determine the trajectory of your life more than any single decision you make. We often underestimate the influence of our circle, yet it shapes our thinking, our habits, and ultimately our results. You cannot rise higher than the people who are around you. If you spend time with those who are complacent, negative, or unmotivated, their mindset will slowly rub off on you. On the other hand, when you choose to be around people who challenge you, inspire you, and stretch you, you are lifted to a higher level without even trying. It's not enough to simply have people in your life. You must have the right people. Many people think friendship is only about comfort and familiarity, but the people who truly help you grow are not always the ones who agree with you or make you feel good. They are the ones who speak truth, who push you beyond your limits, and who hold you accountable to your potential. Growth requires discomfort, and the right circle will create an environment where discomfort is welcomed as a tool for progress. Think about it if you want to start a business, but all your friends complain about jobs and bills. What do you think will happen? Your mindset will start to match theirs. If you want to grow spiritually, but all you do is hang around people who are cynical or distracted, your spiritual life will struggle. The energy and focus of your circle are contagious. You become a reflection of those you spend the most time with. That is why choosing your associations carefully is one of the most strategic moves you can make. Surrounding yourself with people who stretch you also means seeking out mentors and leaders who have already achieved what you aspire to accomplish. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Learn from those who have walked the path before you. Study their habits, absorb their mindset, and apply their principles. Mentorship compresses time and teaches lessons that might otherwise take years to discover through trial and error. People who don't seek guidance often repeat the same mistakes, while those who invest in mentorship accelerate their growth. Your circle should challenge you to think bigger and act bolder. Too often, people limit themselves because of the voices around them. If you want extraordinary results, you need extraordinary influence. That may require leaving relationships that are comfortable but stagnant and pursuing connections that inspire growth, learning, and accountability. It's not about abandoning loyalty. It's about prioritizing your future and surrounding yourself with those who will elevate your thinking. Influence works both ways. Not only are you shaped by those around you, but you also shape them. Being in the right circle allows you to contribute your energy, your perspective, and your ambition to a collective force that multiplies success. Great networks are symbiotic. When everyone is committed to growth, success is not an individual pursuit. It becomes a shared momentum that lifts everyone higher. Another essential aspect is consistency in your exposure. You cannot expect to grow by occasionally engaging with high-level thinkers and then returning to a circle that discourages progress. Growth requires immersion. You must consistently engage with people who elevate you, challenge your thinking, and inspire new action. The more consistent you are in this, the more natural your growth becomes, because the right influences shape your habits, your decisions, and your mindset over time. Your environment also matters. Your circle is not only people, it is ideas, experiences, and surroundings. If your environment tolerates negativity, complacency, or mediocrity, it will be difficult to rise above it. Purposeful engagement with ambitious, successful, and disciplined people creates an ecosystem that supports your growth. Your environment should reinforce the person you are becoming, not the person you are trying to leave behind. The quality of your circle determines the speed and level of your progress. People who reach extraordinary heights consistently attribute their success to the mentors, peers, and communities that influence them. The lessons, encouragement, and accountability gained from the right circle are more valuable than any book, seminar, or course. When you surround yourself with people who raise the standard, you raise the standard for yourself, because excellence is contagious. Ultimately, the people who stretch you are a mirror of your future. They show you what is possible, what is achievable, and what you are capable of becoming. They will challenge you, confront you, and sometimes even frustrate you, but every interaction is an opportunity to grow, to refine your thinking, and to step closer to your potentials. In the right circle is not optional. It is a strategic, deliberate, an essential step toward becoming your best self. Purpose is the force that gives meaning to your success. Many people chase wealth, titles, or recognition, but they find themselves empty because they pursued outcomes without alignment to something greater than themselves. True fulfillment and long-term impact come when your success serves a purpose beyond just personal gain. When you align your actions with service, with contribution, and with a higher calling, everything you do gains momentum that ordinary effort cannot produce. The first step is understanding that your purpose is not always found in what you do. It's found in why you do it. Money, fame, and power are outcomes, not reasons. They are rewards for producing value in the lives of others. If your primary reason for working, creating, or building is only for yourself, you will eventually feel drained, unfulfilled, and frustrated. But when your actions are rooted in service, you operate from a wellspring of energy and motivation that cannot be shaken by temporary obstacles or setbacks. Serving others doesn't mean giving up your ambition or goals. It means redirecting your focus so that your ambition benefits more than just yourself. Businesses that grow fastest are often those that prioritize customers' needs above short-term profits. Leaders who create lasting influence are those who serve their teams rather than demand obedience. When your purpose is linked to service, your success becomes exponential because people are naturally drawn to those who provide value and impact. Impact multiplies when you focus on solutions rather than just problems. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to provide value. Every skill you master, every resource you accumulate, every lesson you learn becomes a tool to serve others. The mindset shift from what can I get to what can I give transforms ordinary work into extraordinary opportunity. Service creates credibility, trust, and loyalty, and these are the foundations for long-term success that wealth alone cannot secure. Another key aspect of aligning success with service is vision. Your purpose gives direction to your efforts. Without a clear vision, work becomes mechanical, progress feels random, and success loses its meaning. When you know your purpose, every decision, every action, and every sacrifice is intentional. You can measure progress not only by what you gain, but by what you contribute. Purpose acts like a compass. It keeps you on course when distractions, doubt, and adversity threaten to derail you. The connection between service and purpose also strengthens resilience. Life will challenge you. Setbacks will come, obstacles will appear, and some days it will feel impossible to continue. But when your purpose is bigger than the temporary pain, when your focus is on making a difference rather than only collecting rewards, you endure. The mission becomes bigger than the moment, and endurance becomes natural because the stakes are not only about you, they are about the impact you create. Living with purpose also attracts opportunities you cannot force. When you operate from service, you create relationships, networks, and partnerships that align with your vision. People are drawn to those who contribute meaningfully. Doors open, invitations arrive, and resources flow toward those whose purpose resonates with others. Success guided by service is magnetic because the world responds to those who generate real value. Generosity is a practical expression of aligning success with service. Giving time, knowledge, and resources creates trust, influence, and goodwill. This doesn't mean reckless sacrifice. It means strategic contribution that benefits both others and your growth. Every act of generosity is a seed planted in relationships, and these seeds grow into opportunities, alliances, and support that help you achieve your vision. Purpose-driven success requires reflection and clarity. You must ask yourself, what difference do I want to make? How do I want to be remembered? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions guide decisions and clarify priorities. They prevent wasted effort and help focus energy on activities that produce long-term impact rather than short-term gratification. Living without this clarity is like sailing without a rudder. You move, but you do not reach the destination that matters most. Ultimately, aligning success with service transforms your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Work becomes meaningful, challenges become opportunities, and growth becomes inevitable. When your actions are tied to purpose, you operate from a level of energy, clarity, and determination that those chasing only personal gain cannot access. Service magnifies your influence, multiplies your results, and creates a legacy that lasts beyond your lifetime.